Underrated Podcast. I am your host, Alton Henry, and today, I know it's the first episode I've done in quite some time. And the reason I wanted to do a podcast episode is because there's some interesting facts that, has been popping on for a minute, and I just want to get my thoughts out. Who knows how long this is going to be, but thank you for tuning in, and let's get to it. First off, Uh, this is interesting, but I'm not really a fan of the property. I could probably play it on my emulator. This is the God of War franchise from Amazon, and I think I will take the opportunity to play it at some point. But the actor suffered injury. From what I've heard, he ripped his torso or biceps during a stunt, and now they're looking to recast him. And it sounds like they haven't announced who they recast him for, or actually what's his replacement. And that sucks. That sucks. And the reason that, well, yeah, it sucks anyway, losing their job. So, it, dang. So that really tells you IPs are the way to go, which has been, especially the more popular um, studios that are hemorrhaging money right now. So they're gonna try to sucker every IP that's out there. So I'm assuming they're in their mind they can't afford to have any setbacks. And Amazon's producing the show. So I kind of heard how Amazon treats their employees. Um, so I know this is the entertainment side, but that kind of tells me same thing during in the warehouse. We just gonna immediately replace you like that. So that really sucks. The recovery time could be a couple months from what it says. I'm just kind of skim through it. So they're gonna reshoot everything. What about the kid? Because if they're gonna reshoot everything, unless they decide to de-age him, which might as well just recast the kid too, which that would suck as well. Obviously, would suck because when they de-age back in when they de-age the actors for that flashback, it was kind of janky a bit, where they had to lower their voices and try to replicate the voices from the first movie, and to see their whole body look, visual effects and CGI, it was just kind of weird. And every kid almost sounded the same in that flashback sequence. I remember that sequence, and they had a flashback in the tree in part two. So that's something. Damn, I feel bad. Like I really do feel bad for the guy, but you know, which is I think now these creators, these filmmakers, and I know we're all looking up for something to supply us income, but I don't know, man. Just to get crap like that, I mean, it's the business, but to be treated like that, you just gotta just move on. You know, unfortunately, IPs lately have been the to go to get people in the theaters, but actually that has been depending on what it is. Because right now, gaming is kind of popular, even though the gaming industry is in trouble. But adapting gaming property is getting traction because people are curious, especially if you're, if they are a fan of the property. Like I'm curious when they do Bioshock. Oh, I hope the Jeeves I get involved in that somehow. Um, because I am confident I can do it justice. It's gonna be a lot of stress. I mean, what are the other adaptations? Actually, I'm not gonna move it a bit. Other adaptations in the pipeline. Let me see if I can. Okay, they got. Well, besides this year, you got Legend of. I mean, next year, Legend of Zelda. You got another Sonic, Angry Birds. The Street Fighter movie I totally forgot about. I'm curious. I'm probably gonna go see it. And A24's Elden Ring, Minecraft sequel, Helldivers. I'm kind of curious. Oh man, Friday Nights at Freddy's, Call of Duty. They got a good director to it. I'm a little worried with it. Dead by Lights, Death Stranding. Okay, I haven't played the game, but I've been wanting to watch the gameplay. I've been wanting to play the gameplay. They got the director who did Pig and The Deaf Robin. I think he's a good director. I think they got. I think he's good. I think he'll do well with that property. But I'm still kind of curious. I feel like they should have got someone a little bit weirder who's known into that. But yeah, man, they just they're gonna start forcing out all these IP uh properties to make movies, Mega Man, Metal Gear Solid, because they already got a fan base. Fu, Shinobi, Naruto casting. Sly Cooper, that's been in development for years. Who knows if they're ever gonna get it? Yeah, I don't know about Sly Cooper. I love Sly Cooper. But I remember that. I don't know if it was a fake trailer, but it was a trailer. It was a trailer, and they were trying to. I think it was a test trailer of Sly Cooper, and they were kind of seeing if it would, um, just how well it would do, and if people were excited about it. And it was a weird design for Sly. So I remember Sly had a big head. Um, BioShock. Yeah, they got the director by him, Legend and Hunger Games. I think he's a good director. I think he'll. Well, I'm a little curious. I know he could deliver good scares, but with the story, I don't know. I don't know. Like they're gonna really go for it. Crazy Taxi. They're really gonna go for it. So they're gonna maybe like a mascot. Like you're gonna hire you to wear the suit, and then your job is to just be in the suit. It can be anybody. And that kind of just tells me, these companies, they really don't, they're really ain't gonna care at this point. I mean, that kind of goes to show you just how little they think of their actors, and it's a tough business. Mortal Kombat 3, I heard the second film bombed. I didn't see it. Sleeping Dogs, that's been in development for a minute. Spy Hunter, I know The Rock, we're supposed to be involved with that. Watch Dogs, and Wolfenstein. Okay, well that I'm definitely curious about. Yeah, man, that really just tells me that they really don't care. They don't care. Hopefully that actor gets another gig, man, because you know, worst thing you could do is be treated like crap. Like, man. So, more movie productions are leaving Los Angeles, California, and well, what's what's going to go on there? I know there's been efforts to try to keep the business in LA, in California, and I'm checking jobs throughout the year, and they're all spread out. Most of them are spread out. And I've been trying to get up work on set too, but they've been spreading them out like crazy, like Tennessee, like everywhere besides California. That this business is there's work. It's just it's not in California, at least not as much. But as a business move, I understand why, because the unions, everybody, I mean, everybody wants a cut. I mean, it does drive the economy, but if the production ain't here, the economy crashes. The economy will crash. So this is my prediction. I mean, yeah, you're still going to have your little virtual studios, your little small production studios that's going to get the bigger projects in. All the independent stuff, I don't know, man. Like they either need to start helping each other out and start combining businesses together to kind of help stay afloat, but there's going to be some losses. Um, Especially the camera houses. I mean, I really don't, and I really don't think a lot of camera houses are going to be around much longer because you can literally go to, use any camera that you have at your disposal and just film, make a movie on your camera. So that's an extra cost on production you don't have to have. That's if these bigger companies chooses to be picky and nitpick about how they want their movies to look. And I get it. I know Netflix has a certain way that they want their movies to look. I think Apple does too. But man, like it wouldn't surprise me if there's more studios that decide to, or filmmakers that decide to say, I'm not going to follow the rules on this and just start uploading on YouTube, which the new filmmakers, Gen Z filmmakers, which is another thing. And I'll be honest with you, unless it's a property the audience knows, they really may not care about Hollywood anymore. They don't care. They don't care. Especially, nobody really glamorizes Kim Kardashian or anybody that grew up with the reality TV boom that was in the mid 2000s. Um, you know, the politics of the entertainment industry has gotten divisive, and you know, the ongoing rumors of certain creepy things that do lurk in Hollywood, and I won't disclose what that is. But I will say this: when I attended a screening to Begonia, pretty good comedy movie that came out last year, was nominated for Best Picture. I was at the screening of the Shave Your Head uh, screening of Begonia. I didn't get my head shaved; I already shaved it, But there were some pretty interesting individuals I saw there, and let's say it was a spiritual warfare. Um, you know, Anybody who is not on the side of Jesus Christ, and I saw the other side of worshippers there. I'm called Satanists. Yeah, I saw some. I saw some of those there at the screening. And there's other different ideals people believe that are here in LA that get a little freaky. And other ongoing rumors circulating that has transpired in the industry for decades. The point I'm trying to make is that there's cults in LA. Okay, I ain't trying to go seek them out. Um, and I'm sure there are bigger people with money that have ties in the industry, that have ties to what's going on, that has the input on the supernatural realm, which you also got the Epstein files, which it's all gone quiet now, but it's not quiet for long. Um, so I'm sure more of those videos of figures has been like easing out over time when you get exposure to YouTube. And, people say it's all clickbait. Maybe it is, but I believe there's stuff out there that's out here. So people trying to get out of here, you know, and the more of that stuff comes out, the more cautious people are about Hollywood. At least for me, I'm cautious about it. Uh, and I mentioned this in that video about you have a lot of movies kind of about you know who, which is true. Like you have a lot of movies about evil, normalizing that possession, and in any movie about Jesus, it's like pandemonium and chaos. It's like the criticism, uh, which is wrong. I'm definitely gonna buy my ticket to the sequel to Passion of the Christ when that comes out. That's for damn sure. Okay, and I can see people who are aware of that and are deciding to look at the technology that is at their disposal and figure out how to build their stuff outside of LA. Especially for those who feel like they've been trying to get their chance and been waiting to get their chance by trying to get up the top, and it just hasn't happened. And they decide to bail out of LA. There's more production going on in Texas and New Jersey. Um, was it North Carolina? Basically, these productions are being spread out, and there's people out there that are doing their own thing out of California. Okay, I've been seeing more opportunities of Netflix trying to get people in the industry for training or any other training facilities, more so outside of California than I see here. And here, everybody's expecting you to work for free, which is BS. I ain't working for. I mean, maybe not if it's worth my time, because you get a lot of just backstabbers here in the industry, and man, that's just what it is. But when it affects your money, they just gonna move on to somebody who's willing to give them the time of day to help complete their project. Hopefully, they're good people, but other than that, that's true. The amount of unpaid internships I've been offered to do to get some sort of experience, I've turned down because I ain't trying to. As much as I would like to say yes and dedicate my time to it, I ain't gonna get. Yeah, it's unpaid. Cost of living, everything's going up. Which I'm in considering the idea of wanting to leave LA or California and go somewhere else. You know, uh, have the thought of traveling and literally just doing an independent filmmaking in your own community and building that is garnering of great interest for me now. Especially if the lack of work is here. Like I just got me a new job after being away for like from work for like 5 months. you know, when they say it's tough to get a job, it's tough to get a job. I mean, just to put it out there, they ain't kidding. So, and that's the livelihood about this business I really don't like. You're waiting around for a call, or to be honest with you, I do get anxiety picking up the phone because I don't know, you don't know who's calling. You don't, especially what's going on now with tech. You don't know, like it could be a legit person or a scammer. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just me having phone anxiety. Nobody leaves a message anymore. But in LA, the term hustle, I guess, really doesn't resonate with me because I'm not a hustler. I mean, once I do a big job, I like to rest for a minute and then I like to go back out. But, some things, like I was on set the other week, uh, you know, commendable. This guy, he worked on one set, he was going back, driving down south to work on another one, and I commend him. I hope he gets enough rest, man. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes. But you know, I do worry about rest. I do worry about um, not thinking straight, trying to focus, working 16 hours there and working another 16 hours in another location. Some go straight out to 48 hours. Remember, I've never worked on a 48-hour production job yet. Uh, but it's hammering, that's just it. You know, so to me, what makes sense is finding a flexible income. Unless that job pays so good, you could help spread that money out until you book your next job. Uh, which I think that's really it. Hopefully the job pays so good it literally helps you flex your money until your next gig. Um, and right now, a lot of stuff I'm asking you for free. I've been wanting to do it, but you know what? I got to find another way to make money while doing this. I have thoughts of even going back to school, but it depends on the job I could get that I have. It's flexible with that, but we'll see. There's also theory that a lot of these jobs may not even exist in 10 years, or maybe even 5. So it's literally like finding what is the next thing in the next couple of years that's going to generate you money, and time is ticking. So, which is another thing that makes me want to reevaluate my approach on the film business, is because you got 4 or 5 filmmakers that prove they build their own. So they're basically trying to adapt the YouTube route by you got to build your own audience, you got to do this, you get people to follow you to watch your project in the theater, like Markiplier did, like King Portions did, like Carrie Barker, you know, and then you have all these, people, actors being a little bit more expressive on social media platforms, and then they're seeing that and seeing how relatable they can be. And people are going to gravitate toward they can relate to, I guess. I'm not really big posting a lot of my personal business on social media, uh, which is weird, to be honest, but it is what it is. It's getting people to adapt and draw them to what you're producing, which I won't put my business out there like that, but I would like to find a way to, you know, find a way to be more out there if I'm trying to really adapt to this new filmmaking world we're heading in now. Um, there's a filmmaker I actually watched, which I think you guys should really give a good shout out. He's made a Tubi movie, and his channel is very small, but he's made this movie literally by himself. And if this feed pops up, I would like to link the channel into the description. Because give a shout out to this man. He's an independent filmmaker. The way he's doing it, mm, actually, it's encouraging me to literally go out and do the same thing. And I kind of wish I saw that, like maybe like 10 years ago, maybe even 12 years ago, to make me rethink my approach on this. Because man, the more jobs, the amount of opportunities I'm seeing that is leaving LA to go to here, to these other places. Like my interest is kind of explored out a little bit more. I mean, I would like to work on documentaries because I like the idea of traveling, seeing other things. Even though packing up and repacking is going to be a hassle, but I want to do it because I want that experience. I want that, you know, because I have a bad habit of really talking myself out of my opportunity because it's like unknown. You don't know anything about it, and you're hoping nobody plays you. Maybe it's over analyzing it and also paranoia, you know. But it's like you shot yourself in the foot because you keep blowing opportunities. You still don't know, but it's like when you get an opportunity, you take the risk, sacrifice. You know, I think that's just it. You get the opportunity, you sacrifice. You sacrifice. You sacrifice. That's just it. Uh, like I did see those movies from King Parsons, but Backrooms is probably my favorite film of the year so far. I wanted to see the extended cut that just re-released last week on Friday, but I didn't get a chance to. Uh, for those who don't know, there was an extended cut re-released. Um, I'm definitely gonna rewatch it on streaming. Hopefully, they release it on DVD. Yeah. Carrie Barker's Obsession. I did see it. Shout out to Indie Latina honey. Uh, but good movie. I'm not gonna watch it again. Because like I said, I mean, I made it a David Lynch style of possession movie, but I don't want to make that kind of stuff again. I don't. I do not. Um, and you have to really look at it. Where audiences are gravitating towards more, and I think it is YouTube. Uh, which is actually an idea I thought of. That I think each studio should have some sort of online platform to promote the newer filmmakers, the Gen Z filmmakers, because there's a lot of filmmakers on YouTube that are doing cinematic video vlogs, and they're beautiful. These videos are well done. I love the look. They have this new, like these videos have, like a lot of filmmakers have this obsession look of retro film emulators in their videos. And I mean, a lot of the filmmakers, the way they edit it has like a pattern. Maybe it's just a, you know, filmmaker that's hiring an editor to do their video, so it looks similar, but or maybe they're doing it on their own, but it looks like a breath of fresh air, and it feels like a lot of filmmakers are literally their own brand, their own business, their own idea. So they can make movies, they can make shows on their platform. Like YouTube is literally the biggest media platform ever. Like I'm watching more YouTube than anything really, and it's more insight. You know, you have a filmmaker talking about, and it's a way to also promote their own business. Like let's say if um, someone's like in the stocks or anything, and they want to do a YouTube channel discussing their experience. Like I've been watching Value Entertainment, and it's always interesting to hear what their podcast. Oh, no, not Value. Yeah, Value Entertainment, but their podcast is, I think it's PBS Podcast. Um, a fan of the channel. Like, and plus they do a little acting skits too, which is funny. It's just that's the thing. If these companies want to survive, which I don't think, like I remember this other video I've heard, this prediction that Warner Brothers will go down. Um, I wouldn't mind. Well, I wouldn't say that because it was actually my favorite studios. Besides A24, growing up watching a lot of those movies, especially in the '80s and '90s. Hell, like literally the best liners of action movies. Warner Brothers goes down. I literally believe they abused their own IPs. Um, I mean, like the Looney Tunes library is all over the place. You can watch they're licensing their Looney Tunes stuff later on Tubi and episodes on YouTube. And that's the thing. Like they have their little section on YouTube called Warner Brothers Classics, animated classics. They could utilize that a lot, but they're not. They just they're treating their IPs disposable, and plus they don't know what to do with them. I think that's what's hurting them the most. They don't know what to do with the IPs. They're planning blindly. They announced this new thing called Warner Brothers Clockwork to put out more art house experimental movies, but if Warner Brothers goes down and gets absorbed by Paramount, well, one, they're just going to get more debt, and two, what's going to become of that? What's going to become of their library? Um, I think all studios fail to find a way to really adapt to media exposure of this generation. Uh, for one, I mean, I think Netflix is doing a decent job utilizing their content media. The other studios, Universal, may stay around because they got their parks, and then they've been lucky enough with their movies. But Warner Brothers, Gates, hopefully, look, Gates might still be around for a while. But Warner Brothers, man, what they should do is take a risky approach by, yeah, starting doing podcasts, doing interviews of podcasts of filmmakers who've been longtime collaborators of Warner Brothers, maybe talk about their Warner archives, um, adapt maybe some of their older IP and refresh. Well, they tried that with He-Man, I think, because they got their Hanna-Barbera. Adapt some of those, but I would say for whoever makes it, maybe do like video vlogs, like filmmakers doing video vlogs on YouTube. They should do it on that and help promote and sell the movie. Doing podcasts, doing maybe documentaries, finding a way to generalize the brand for Gen Z, for this current generation. I think that's a way that they need to do it. Otherwise, it's just gonna fail. Like it's really just gonna fail. I don't think the business will survive without really rebranding itself in its approach of movie exposure. Unless they really gonna get lazy and just shoot more remakes and reboots and adaptations. And one also go back the old school ways of knowing what's actually good, and I'm talking about morality sense, and what's actually evil, and having good triumph over evil most of the time in these movies. Stop deconstructing characters that feel heroic and need to be heroic and carrying the teachings of Jesus Christ and God. Period. Three, if these companies do promote certain beliefs and approaches of way of thinking. They need to be a niche for audiences to go to and direct them to that and not try to force it in the mainstream because not everyone is going to like that. Let me just make that clear. Otherwise, continue to lose money. And I want to help Warner Brothers, all right? I want to help some of these studios because I love movie making. I love film. I love it. I'm a nerd. I've been trying to get in the industry for a while. I suck at it right now. You know, um, I think one of the best movies they've made in the last decade is literally their partnership with Denis Villeneuve for Blade Runner 2049 and then the Dune trilogies that are coming out. Okay. I think they really, and I think with Blade Runner 2049, I think they should have done some of the things I just mentioned before is introducing, find a way introducing Blade Runner into this world that I don't think these studios don't understand how to market their movies to Gen Z, their properties to Gen Z. They just gonna go with the lazy route. If you want to go the lazy route, continue to lose money. But the thing is, if happens, everybody that works on these projects loses their jobs. They lose their jobs, and then nothing gets made. And they're gonna go the lazy route. It's like, you know what? Just AI it. But we also finding out that AI is getting expensive, more so than what these companies anticipated. Greed. Same thing with with the God of War actor, man. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the peasants. They care about the gold and what's gonna make more gold. Okay, I can see why more just creatives are choosing to leave or move or deciding to try to find a way to do it independently. I mean, you can do that with YouTube. Um, but I was saying that these Warner Brothers or these studios or Paramount or Apple should latch onto these newer Gen Z filmmakers, help give them exposure, and maybe they could do vice versa, help doing like, maybe these companies could do their own podcast shows. Apple TV doing podcasts on YouTube. Warner Brothers, even their other company that they absorbed, New Line Cinema. Uh, it's like maybe secrecy is not the way to do it anymore, but it's a new way to promote the business, I think. And the way to do that is by showing people who love it and help promote them to help promote the business and give ideas and inputs on what to make, especially if you're trying to make something for the general audience. Uh, that's gonna really spend the money to go see the property, movie or television. Vertical dramas, I don't know, man. Um, I know there was like a summit for vertical dramas that was like a month or two ago, but also, I heard it was popular in Japan and in China. I heard they're getting rid of that. Now they're just doing AI verticals, doing AI verticals. And for what I've heard, and I saw this on the China Observer, and I done a little research. Yeah, people are adapting to AI verticals. You know, so Let's see how that lasts long. But uh, I would literally try to figure out what's going to be around in the next 10 years, or at least less than that. Um, because here's the thing. I really think it's imperative for anybody in the industry that isn't trying to cave into the industry standards. I would say hand together, start creating your own studio or form a new studio because these older ones that's been around for over 100 years will fade out or they will move. Long term, I believe a lot of these studios will choose to move. I think Universal might be the only one that might. Universal and Netflix, they might stay. Actually, I don't know about Netflix. I mean, yeah, they might have their headquarters here, but then Netflix is going to be global. I think Netflix is going to be global. Warner Bros. Will be absorbing the Paramount, and then I think they're going to move out of here to somewhere else. It wouldn't surprise me. It's either somewhere up in the northern states or Las Vegas, because I know they try to build a studio in Las Vegas, but or somewhere cheaper with a lot of land. It would surprise me. They try to build some somewhere overseas. Uh, I see Universal staying here, A24, but A24 also has an office in New York. Um, there are three little independent studios that just came to fruition. One of them is Watermelon Pictures. I forgot what the other two are. They've been releasing trailers of movies they've purchased. Um, okay, there's platforms like Share that's formulating community of filmmakers to making stuff and probably have a platform on YouTube to showcase their movies. There's platforms like Nowness, Mubi, an art house and streaming service is also distributing movies. I can't talk today. They distributed the substance. Okay. I mean, Amazon, it's going to be a new, I mean, even Google's trying to find a way, and it's still in early discussions. I mean, they're releasing tools of AI creativity. It's going like even I believe in the next year or two, Google will have their own little section of film productions. So it's changing. It's changing. Um, some of these studios will survive. Some of them won't. I don't know. I don't know about Lionsgate. I do know there's a lot of these smaller independent studios. I don't know what's going to happen to them. I think these independent companies, uh, I think a lot of them are either going to leave or um, consolidate. Because some of the medium stuff that I used to like listening to, like no, not Screen Rant. I mean, I know they still active. Like the lighter, I think they became smaller. You know, so it's something. So I really think these studios need to find a way to rebrand themselves to Gen Z, otherwise they're screwed. Uh, because even I am shocked, like the amount of money they're spending on these movies. Like, want a bomb. Um, and it doesn't make like they gotta start remaking their movies. At least remake the less popular movies that they've made, you know, or re-release some of these movies for like a week or two and promote it and let it know that you're re-releasing it from the vault. You know, like the only thing from Disney I'm looking forward to is the Ninth Jedi series. Yeah, that's it. Man, I'm excited for that. And another season of Star Wars Visions whenever they get a chance to. So, that's kind of really it for it's really more, like I said, if more jobs, more of film leaves California, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I might bail out too, like trying to do something else for me while saving up money and do try to get my independent film out the way because time you're only getting older, you're only losing time. I'm like 33 right now. I thought I would already get my first feature made already. With that mindset, always worried about chasing the industry and you know finding the right people to make movies with, and they want to make movies with you. You want to feel like you want to feel like you're getting along with these people. I don't want like just calling somebody up and just saying, "Hey, can I use you for this?" I want to be friends with people. It's like, "Hey, man, you're at a game," and I was like, last project I was with, I was working on. Some of the crew actually made time on their downtime to watch the World Cup that was going on. I didn't really tune into it, but I was noticing how welcoming that was. Just they literally took a moment and just watched the game. You know, Instead of having to work all the time, just say, "Hey, man, just chill." Some relatable, you know. But that's what I think. I think that's what needs to happen if these studios are going to survive for a little while longer. But there's no doubt in my mind these studios are going to try to get out of California. Um, like I really do believe that, and I do think a lot of studios, from what am aware of, been empty. They're probably just going to start reducing space, right? Add more homes or whatever. And with some of this AI, like I tried Higgsfield, you literally like knowing how to use it is key. Right. The main thing I am hesitant with these companies is it's probably gonna happen. It's just how long till we suppress it from happening too quickly, and us just having all our movies just done by AI because we all know it's coming. Not say that doom and gloom, okay? And I'll just as long as you have time and you have time on this earth to try to make what you want to happen, just to experience it. Uh, as long as in the good natures of God, please. Um, please do so. Because the one thing I've noticed is that uh, people like to use fear to motivate someone to do something. And that's probably not, no, that shouldn't be the motivation to really do anything. In fact, maybe it's a motivation to try to conquer it and not be so fearful. Uh, you know, not having self doubt. Because at least personally for me, I talk myself out of doing a lot of things, whether it's just not knowing the the uncertainty behind it. You know, um, because well, yeah, I mean, pivot, but it's like I still want to try to do this, and investing the money to do it, and then work with like-minded people who want to do the same thing. Hey, that's just it. We don't have time forever because the last thing, like I've been watching a lot of videos about people regretting about stuff, and then just looking for answers. Uh, yeah, man. Um, and maybe it's also, like I said, a good thing that that a lot of these companies, movies, are evolving out of Hollywood. It's referencing back to my point where, again, you have a lot of movies come out about demons and evil thinking, and I'm tired of seeing that. Like, man, if I have time later today, there's this movie on Tubi called The Case of Christ. I want to watch it. I'm gonna watch it after I edit this video and then upload it. Because man, uh, yeah, man. I highly recommend checking out Young Washington. That's currently in theaters right now. Because man, that was good. It was a little slow for me, but it was good. But like I said, I'm just tired of seeing movies about. And they try to normalize it and say, oh, this person has a mental illness or so. And I hate that victimhood stuff that they're going for with this crap. Like, no, it's like I see it for what that ain't gonna fly. So I highly encourage people to stand up to that, please. And thank you for listening to my podcast. Let me know what you guys think of what the future of this entertainment industry is. Um, because man, we are entering a new age um, of this, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to finally figuring out how I'm going to sustain my livelihood by doing this. And catch you guys next time. And what is your favorite underrated movie? And then you know what? I'll add it to this. What's your favorite underrated podcast?